I'm going to mute Reverend Stanley since he's got something. Okay, everybody. So we are very fortunate to have Sarah Delgado with us today and Lucy Fyfe. So there's two presentations. So we're going to do introductions quickly. I'm going to run through the list. It seems to be easier when I kind of direct this a little bit. But please save announcements to the end so that we can get our presenters on, okay? So let's start with Erica Jones.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Erica Jones, and I am the owner of Silvercare LLC, a home care agency, non-skilled here in Norfolk, Virginia. So happy Friday, everyone.
Thank you for being here. And let's go with Sandy.
I'm from Prime Plus, Norfolk Senior Centers. I'm with the Adult Day Programs, and we have a location in Norfolk and Virginia Beach. So happy Friday to everybody as well.
Thank you. And Scott?
Hello, everyone. Scott C., and I'm a realtor with That Coastal Realty. My business is Homes by the Sea. Get it? Homes by the Sea. Glad to be here.
It's clever. All right, let's go, Bob.
Bob Atcher, Executive Director of Prime Plus Senior Centers. I'm happy to announce that that's now our official name.
Excellent. That's wonderful. And Micah?
I don't know. I can't top Scott C, man. I can't top that. That's pretty epic. Micah Hunt, I work for Garrett Realty Partners, but not as a realtor. So Scott, you can have that. I know business is going crazy, but no thank you for me. I work with seniors and helping them downsize and provide assistance to with their transition into a senior living community. I work with a lot of you on many different occasions, and I'm also the chair for the Virginia Beach Task Force.
Welcome. Thank you. Mikkel?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. My name is Mikkel Rappaport. I am the owner and senior care consultant for Golden Lifestyle Partners. We specialize in senior living placement and referral services.
Excellent. Thank you. Reverend Stanley?
I'm Reverend Stanley, Compassion Advocacy Network. We put compassion into action, and excuse me with the door opening, and and we have been celebrating 20 years in making a difference in our seniors in the community.
Wonderful. And Nanette?
Good morning. I'm Nanette Burke-Bickler, and I'm with SeniorLivingGuide.com.
Thank you. Let's go, Kate.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kate Powell. I'm the Executive Director of Tidewater Arts Outreach. My video just freaked out. And we provide arts outreach programs to senior living communities and organizations that serve people in any kind of isolating circumstances. And particularly for this task force, we have quite a bit of funding available for City of Norfolk's facility and organizations that serve this population, and for outright sponsored programs. So normally we would do a cost share, but I have quite a bit available. So Norfolk people, get on that. Like, it's available through June 30, the end of our fiscal year. So start referring people to me. Thank you.
Good to know. Thanks, Kate. Maybe we can get some more details towards the end of the meeting. Julie.
Sorry, I've got the DirecTV guy here trying to not get the dog to bite him. It's like my husband decided to go across to get coffee right now. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm Julie Ulrich. I'm with TimeWise. I'm a personal concierge and lifestyle manager, but I can't manage my own. Everybody else, I'm good. Anyway, and I'm also the chair for the Chesapeake Task Force on Aging.
Okay, April, are you able to join? Hey, April. We can't hear you. And you're not muted, but we can't hear you.
if you're on Ring, you sometimes have to actually click on the speaker to actually connect. So it's not like Zoom where you automatically can connect. You have to actually click the mute button or the speaker button to actually connect.
April, we'll come back to you in just a minute. We'll let Tanisha go.
Hey, great morning, everyone. I'm Tanisha Newman, Executive Director of New Man Fitness Foundation. We assist seniors with proper nutrition, exercise, and wellness. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here. Okay, now we've got our speakers who will announce in a little bit, and they'll get to talk to you guys. And then let's go. Hope.
Good morning, everyone. Hope Lomax-Jones here, Vice Chair. Also, I am working with AACS Business Consulting. And good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Thank you. And then Amy.
Hello, Amy Chewy. I'm with Ideal Organizing and Design, and we help seniors sort through their belongings and downsize. And we also help with arranging their furniture to keep them safe if they choose to age in place. And I'm the secretary here at the Norfolk Task Force on Aging, and so you'll see me with my head down taking notes most of the time.
And she has been a wonderful addition to the board. Thank you, Amy. Charlene, I know you just joined us. We're just finishing introductions. Would you like to introduce yourself? Okay, April and Charlene will come back to you guys at the end of the meeting. My name is Brandy. I'm with Comfort Keepers. I'm the Director of Ops, and we do non-medical, non-skilled care across Southside Hampton Roads. And then Iris is joining too. Iris, we just ended with an introduction. Would you like to introduce yourself real quick? Okay, we will come back to you at the end of we'll come back to you at the end of the meeting, Iris. We got 3 of you. I'll write you guys down. Okay, so without ado, let's get started. We have Sarah Delgado, who is the Family Services Supervisor for City of Norfolk, and she is going to speak to us about adult protective services and when to make an APS report and kind of what to expect when you do. So Sarah, please feel free to take it away.
All right, good morning, everybody. Can everyone hear me? Trying to work out the technology piece.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect. So, like she said, I'm with Norfolk Adult Protective Services. I've been there for just over 9 years. Started as a worker, moved my way up to now supervising. So, just want to briefly go over about when you should make a report, what things to look for, and also a little bit about mandated reporting. I know that if you hold a license, it's usually ingrained in everybody, but we're really trying to instill in everybody that if you work with older adults, disabled adults, and children, that you should take on the role as mandated, even if your profession might not lead you to be, just because you might be the only set of eyes that interacts with them. So with mandated reporters, it's anybody who's licensed, certified, or registered by health regulatory boards. And there's a whole list. We've also been working with financial departments to try to get them more on board as well, because sometimes they're the only entity that might find out about financial exploitation. So for any mandated reporter or anybody working with the elderly disabled, we just ask that if you suspect abuse, neglect, or exploitation of elders or incapacitated adults, and for us, that criteria is anybody 60 or over is categorized as elder, anybody 18 to 59 that has any kind of disability, physical, mental, even just suspected disability, we ask that you then report. The reporting, for us, we need an identifiable adult. So as much of the demographics that you can find, the better. Even if you have a first name or they go by a nickname, we've been given an address and go find Smitty. We will knock on the door and we will ask for someone by that nickname. But definitely having an address, even just a general address, will work. We've gone to bus stops before because there's a disabled person in a wheelchair, and as long as you can give us those intersecting streets of that bus stop, we'll drive by and try to find them. But so as much information as possible. The location of where the person was abused or neglected is very important, because Norfolk, or the whole state of Virginia, operates based on jurisdiction. So if the abuse occurred in Virginia Beach, but they told you about it at a Norfolk Day Center or program, then Virginia Beach would be the one to look into that. But always, if you call us, we will direct to the right location. So as far as for that as well, I want to provide, we have a 24-hour state hotline that can, no matter where you are in Virginia, you can call, and that's the same hotline for all of us. And so I'd like to provide everyone with that number. And then I'll also give our local Norfolk number. So the state hotline is 888-832-3858. And they'll send it directly to us in our database system. We use Peer Place. They'll send it directly to us if it is a Norfolk case. And then for our Norfolk direct hotline, which we're in operation Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, is 757-664-6123, and then we are prompt number 3. And I also want to throw in there that same hotline with prompt number 1 is if you're working with an individual who needs a personal care screening or a nursing home screening, that would be the prompt to request one of those. So that's just the little spiel about who should report. Now, when to report. So we investigate allegations of abuse, neglect, and exploitation. Our highest reported allegation is self-neglect, which I would gather is probably what most people come in contact with. That's those who aren't taking their medications, not going to their doctor's appointments, hoarding, poor hygiene. All those would fall under that category. So another big one, obviously abuse is could be a little bit more obvious as far as if they have injuries that look suspicious. We know older folks are easily bruised along the arms and legs because, it could be the medications that they're on, but anything to the face, the torso, those are areas of big concern. Obviously, black eyes. If someone is bed confined and they've got bed sores developing, big red flag. If anyone just appears fearful of their caregiver or someone in the home and they can't explain why, or they're afraid to tell you why, that's obviously something that we would look into as well. Dehydration, fecal or urine smell, that could fall under either neglect if they have a caregiver or self-neglect. The home environment, if you're able to see that, is it infested? Do they have, running water, electricity? Are their bills becoming unpaid? And then financial exploitation, misuse of money. They don't know where their checks are going. That they have a steady income, but then they're showing up without proper meals, or their electricity is cut off. And then we also investigate sexual abuse cases. Those are a little bit harder to identify depending on the person's capacity, but there are signs to look for if they're very mistrustful of those who they should be close with, if they're complaining of discomfort down in their private regions, if they're having frequent illness or UTIs. That could be a culmination of things, but all stuff we want to look into. So with working with anybody, when in doubt, report. We would much rather people call and just run it by us than to not, and then someone's sitting at home suffering. So I know some people get really timid to call because they're not sure if it meets criteria. And I always say, that's not your job to worry about. Let me worry about it. And we'll do it. We'll ask you as much questions as we can. Any collaterals that you might have, we'll interview everybody. So then for us, once the report is made at hotline, you can call our intake. We then determine if it's valid. If it's not valid, we always we'll provide resources. We have an adult services team who will refer out to. So it might not meet criteria for us, but we're like, they still could use some services. So we will transfer it over to our services side. We refer to the regulatory agencies, law enforcement. We've had a couple cases go to the FBI, depending on the financial amount. So just because we might not take it doesn't mean it's not going anywhere. And then for us, we have 45 days to complete an investigation. So that will involve an unannounced home visit to the client's residence. We like to do it unannounced so that, we catch them in their current state. They don't have time to clean up or, prepare. And we use a response tree. So depending on the severity of the case will depend how fast we go. Per the state, we have 5 calendar days to respond. If you're the reporter, you will, we do give, with your permission, we give the assigned worker your contact information. And so if they have more questions during the case, or maybe you're the only link to the client and they can't locate them, they will reach back out. They're not able to give a play-by-play update of the case, but they'll, we'll try to work together to come, the common interest is the client. We want to service them the best. So while you might not hear anything during an investigation, you will receive a letter at the end of the case with whether it was substantiated or not. And it could be unfounded, but that doesn't mean there wasn't other things going on. So that's why we always encourage everyone to report. Better safe than sorry. And then at the 45-day mark, we decide if they've accepted services, we'll implement those. If they've refused services and they have the capacity to refuse us, we'll leave them be. We try to provide them with the resources that we can. And then that's when we always encourage those who are still involved, if they continue to decline, report again. Because we've had some cases that we've had 6-7 times before we were actually able to intervene or they actually accepted. So, we're in it for the long haul. As long as they're around, we're there to help them. And so, yeah, it's an interesting job. And I know you guys all know from working with the same population that a lot of our folks are resistant to help because they want to maintain their independence. And that's our goal. We want you to remain independent in your home as long as it's safe. So kind of just encouraging them that, we're not there to be the bad guys. We're not CPS. We're not there to remove you from your home and put you in a nursing home. It's never the goal. If it's needed, we work towards that goal. But it's a big, we want them to be as involved in the decisions as they can be. So I know that was a kind of a quick spiel, but I figured if anyone has questions, we could just I could clarify a little bit more of the areas you guys might be questioning.
Can I ask a question, please? Okay, sure. When you're dealing with someone who has dementia, which seems to be I don't know what to do. I have training because I have a degree in psychology and I work as a therapist and pastoral counseling. So I do a lot of counseling. However, I am not good when it comes to really understanding dementia very quickly. We had a person that was in an apartment complex and the sister, she was staying with the sister, and the sister kept saying that she was da-da-da and all this was going on. And the sister was like, I know the sister, and that wasn't going on. And so she was just reporting stuff and calling and doing crazy stuff all the time. And yet we couldn't control her until eventually she had to put her out. And I have no idea what's happened to her, but she was way out of control. And there's got to be signals or something about someone with dementia that says, okay, they're right now, they're not in their right mind. Something's wrong. You need to call someone right away because this person is a danger to themselves and others. When do you know that? What are the signs? What are those warning signs? When do you know when to do what to do?
Okay. Well, in dementia, like as you said, it's tricky because it can either come on really fast or just it's a slow progression. It all depends on what underlying conditions they have. So dementia is the symptom of a bigger disease that's going on. It could be Alzheimer's. It could be some untreated mental health. We always encourage family, if they're an immediate threat to themselves or others, because a lot of times dementia can come with a psychosis. And there's a fine line because we like to utilize with the Community Services Board if there's a mental health issue going on. But dementia is such a fine line because it's not necessarily that they're going to get better. It's progressive. So a lot of times the mental health side will say, it's not really us because it's not something that a hospitalization will fix. But we always encourage the family to contact the client's PCP, primary care doctor, when they're noticing a decline. And not always the doctor will communicate with family, but you could try to get them in for an appointment. And we've let the nurses know at the time of scheduling an appointment, like, hey, we've noticed a decline. We'd like to get them in for an appointment. Could the doctor address these things? For the immediate safety risk, you can contact non-emergency police, and they have crisis intervention trained or CIT officers who are trained to de-escalate those immediately unsafe situations. Because we look at it as if they're in a psychosis state, there is no rationing. We might just have to remove them from the situation and get them to a hospital. And these officers are trained in that area. Obviously, you can contact us and we can navigate that process together based on the specific symptoms that they're showing. But anytime there's immediate threat, we always encourage to call police. And the end goal is probably that they will need a capacity assessment or a psychological evaluation to determine if they can continue to make their own decisions for themselves. And a lot of times people end up needing a guardian, and then the guardian can help arrange out-of-home placement or get if they're stabilized enough to return home safely, then we'll work with them to get services in place. It's definitely a case-by-case situation. A lot of times they'll experience sundowning, and so if the evenings tend to be worse, then we can know it's probably dementia related. I don't know the science behind sundowning, but we've seen it in so many individuals that it's a real thing.
Sarah, you kind of brought up a point. What is calling you all? What's the expected turnaround or response time? Because if there is a imminent danger, non-emergency number.
Yeah.
But I mean, are we looking at a couple of weeks? Are we looking at the next morning? Because I know you guys are understaffed and overworked too. I got to put that in there.
Isn't everybody? But for us, it depends on the severity. So we don't work weekends. So our hotline, if you call the state hotline, they'll kick the report to us in our system. And so first thing Monday morning, we'll review it. That's why I encourage that if there's an imminent risk, call law enforcement, because we don't have after hours. We're just not staffed that way. The state doesn't have a mandate for that. But for us, once the report is made, the worker has up to 5 calendar days to respond. We typically, we use a response priority tree. So if it's more severe, we might send someone immediately from receipt of report, 24 hours, 3 days, or 5. Those are our 4 response times. So it all depends. Now, if the case is going to not be taken for an investigation, but we're going to give it to our services team, they do have a longer time frame, but I do ask my hotline staff to contact the reporter back to let them know we're not taking it, but there should be a services worker reaching out. Unfortunately, that side of it, not unfortunately, but that's a voluntary service. So it's a lot easier for clients to say, no, 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 I don't want you. Whereas an investigator, we're mandated to come see you. But so 5 days should be the standard after making a report. Is there any other questions or comments that I can help clear up?
I don't think so. It was a very informative discussion and a good reminder to all of us that are working with seniors in varying capacities that we are all mandated reporters. And even if you're not, looking out for your neighbor or the person that you're coming into contact with is always important. So, and oftentimes these people are not able to speak up for themselves. So APS is not always the most fun call to make, but when you keep in mind the goal of APS and that they're there to provide services and resources, and if necessary, remove somebody from the home so that it's safer, but that is always a last option. So they're there to help, and there's been oftentimes that we've had to call and ask that they play mediator in some ways. So they've become very helpful to us in some very nasty situations. So so I've posted the phone numbers that Sarah listed, and I'm sure that they'll be in our minutes, and I'll be sure to include them in our announcements next week as well. But they're not hard to find if you ever need them. So and then I also,
and I was gonna say I have 2 kind of cheat sheets that I can email you if you want to pass out to everybody. That it has kind of the warning signs to look for, and then it also has the state number posted. Just it's a quick little checklist that kind of, if you're wondering, you can refer back to.
That would be wonderful, Sarah. Thank you. I appreciate that. And we also I'll compare it to the one that we have in the Norfolk Senior Guide, because we put it in the Senior Guide as well, pushing for people. Just like you said, if you're ever in doubt, report. So if you're concerned at all, have somebody else go and take a look. It's the best option. So thank you so much for all that you guys do, Sarah, your team, and everyone else. I've had to work with you guys a few times. You guys do a great job.
Well, thank you guys.
Yes, of course. So without ado, we will move on to Lucy, that's going to talk about something a little more positive, but also a resource for seniors. And I believe she has a presentation. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to allow her to share. Lucy, you should be good. There should be a green button at the bottom of your screen.
Okay. And tell me, what do I do to share?
You push the green button.
Okay. Then what?
It should ask you what you want to share. So screen 1, or you can select a specific, like if you're using PowerPoint, you can select just PowerPoint.
Okay. And then do I click the share button at the bottom of that pop-up window?
Yep.
Okay.
Good to go.
Thank you. That's perfect. So I did that on purpose because that's pretty much what our program does. We teach people how to do this. And I told her I was going to have her do this so that she would be able to show how to share. That's actually way more technical than we get in our program. We want to find the people who are isolated, that Reverend Stanley, who needs help moving from device to device. You did a great job this morning, and you're even more advanced than you realize. A lot of people don't realize that they know more than they do. So this is a Healthwise project. It's a collaborative with Westminster Canterbury on the Chesapeake Bay, Senior Services of Southeastern Virginia, Prime Plus Senior Centers, and EVMS, the Glennon Center for the Geriatric Group. Basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to find those individuals who have no idea how to do Wi-Fi, Zoom calls, telehealth, basic email, meaning send and receive, that's all. And then we're incorporating the Birdsong app, which incorporates all the things that we just taught them. What we need is we need coaches. Oh, I apologize. This is a Birdsong app. This is what it looks like. And basically, if you clicked on the communicate button, it would show you those things that we just taught them. What we're looking for is coaches and participants. A coach, we say tech savvy, but pretty much anybody on here could be one of our coaches, because if you're able to get on here, then you already know those basic things we just taught. It's usually a 12-week program. We assign 2 participants per coach. Each one is an individual meeting, and they'll meet with them for an hour or less every session. You have initial training with me, but that's always fun, so that's good. We make it fun. And as soon as I get the coach's background checked, they also get HIPAA certified, and we do clarify about APS, because we want to make sure if they're in their house or they see something, you know, we want to make sure that they report it. So glad we got that little in-service on APS also. Participants, all they have to do is be able to commit to 12 weeks. They need to have a Wi-Fi connection because we cannot provide that for them. It would be great if they had a device that has a webcam. We're working on a grant right now to get tablets that we can let them borrow if they need to have them. So eventually that won't be a requirement, but for right now, they do need to have some type of device that has a webcam. Even if they have no idea what it is, they say they got this from their family member, they've got all this electronics stacking up here and they're not sure what to do with it, we can find the right fit. We do need to have it be a desktop or a tablet or a laptop, because the Birdsong app that we teach does not work well on a phone. This is how you reach me if you want to be a part of this. And right now, our next session is starting on Monday, and we're really low on coaches because we have so many participants, which is amazing. So very happy about that. We need coaches desperately. So if you know of anybody who'd be willing to volunteer their time for a couple hours a week, the most would be 4 hours a week, I would love to have you send them my information, get a hold of me so that we can do this. That's kind of the quick down and dirty of this. Just how Brandy showed me how to share, I totally put her on the spot for that. But that's what we want to do. If you have a parent or a grandparent or anybody who is affiliated with the Hampton Roads area, then we want them, because any way that they can be affiliated with the Hampton Roads area, if my parents live in Colorado, they could be in this program. We're 100% virtual right now. When we are able to see each other again in person, we are already working on at Prime Plus. We're working on having a training center there. We're going to have a training center at Senior Services of Southeastern Virginia. We're going to make it happen so that if people need to be in person, they can do this also. But we're keeping it basic and simple so that everybody can get connected. All of you know, if you think back to the first time you ever did Zoom or Ring or WebEx or Blue Jeans, whatever you want to do, this is the first time you had a video call with somebody, whether that was 10 years ago on Skype, whether it was a year ago on Zoom because you were forced into it. The first time you got to see a loved one on Zoom, on here, and you got to actually talk to them, especially if they were out of state or somebody you see every day, and now you got to see them in front of you on your screen. It's just, it's a wow factor, and it makes you happy. So we want to make sure that we get everybody else connected. We like to tell everybody that they already know technology. If they have a microwave, they know technology. If they have a TV with a remote, if they have an answering machine, if they have a car with a fob, this is all technology they've already learned. This is just the next step that we want to get them caught up and get connected with everybody. Anybody have any questions?
I do,
Yes,
Lucy.
question. Go ahead,
Sorry.
Julie.
Go ahead, Reverend.
No, go ahead. I go ahead, I'll wait.
I sent you a message, sign me up, but then I thought about it, can you select like the day that you're gonna give the 2 hours, or is it?
Absolutely. So how it works is when I send you when you're a coach, and then I'll send you your 2 participants, and you work with each one on a time that works for the both of you.
Okay, perfect.
It makes everybody happy that way, because the participants are like, what? I don't have to do this on certain days, and you can work it out with them.
Okay, perfect. Sold.
Yay, thank you.
Okay, Lucy, real quick. So we do what you're doing on a very small scale, teaching people these things, okay? But we don't have your type of training. So how would a nonprofit come to you and say, okay, Lucy, teach us to be coaches so we can help our people, the thousands of people that we have because of our contact base? How would we do that? How would we be able to do this? Because I know all of our people trust us, and we deal with people that nobody else is dealing with. So how would we get that type of training? Would we come to you, or how would we do this?
So my best suggestion right now, because we're in the pilot phase of this project, is have some of your coaches go ahead and sign up with me and teach some of the participants that we already have listed in this program. And then they'll see how easy it is to teach them. Everybody has me in their back pocket. So if they get stuck, they can always email me and ask me questions, things like that, while they're in the 12-week program. And then if your coaches learn enough, or if they have questions, they can ask me whatever they need to do.
Okay, so I'm gonna copy your email. I guess, again, I gotta have your email so I can do that.
Reverend Stanley, tell me your information. I'll send it to you.
Send it to janmicstan@gmail.com. That is my personal email. It stands for Jonathan Anthony Michael Stanley. That's nobody can take that. And I've had it forever. And that's my personal. If you could do that, because I love you. Your spirit, ever since you joined us for years, I love you because you're always so upbeat and so wonderful on working with people, and you're just absolute inspiration. Thank you, Lucy, for everything you're doing. You're so awesome. You're just so awesome. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Reverend Stanley's good about making us feel so good about ourselves.
Don't give the head too big, though.
What's all the balloons for, Micah?
So I'm sorry, Brandy, if you save this, you're going to have a lot of private chats. I'm sorry. So it's her birthday, and it's unicorns and hearts. So, and now they show up. You
Happy
said something.
birthday.
Now they all show up.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, little one. You're so blessed. God loves you. Happy birthday to you.
What do you say?
Excellent.
She said, thank you.
She doesn't want to interrupt. Sorry, I totally got
a little late for that now.
Totally a shiny thing moment. Ooh, something shiny. Lucy, great information. Thank you. I do have a question for you guys. Have you guys hit your goal of 100 participants?
No. So the dilemma is we need more coaches to fill it. So we're going to constantly look for coaches. I'm desperate for 3 right now. So thank you, Julie. And then, we need to get 2 more just to take care of the participants we already have. And then we're getting close, but we are going to still be looking for coaches. The next session will start in the middle of June.
And just so you guys keep in mind, the coach does not need to be a professional. It could be a college student. So if you or somebody, as long as they're tech savvy, that's the important piece, and they have the time to donate. There's not a bunch of other and then obviously they have to pass background checks. So keep that in mind. It does not have to be a professional that's on this call. So if you have somebody in mind that has patience, because patience is important, and the tools to help, that, like Lucy said, she really needs people. So
we do ask that they're 18 or older right now. Eventually we will work on working with the high schoolers and everything like that to incorporate that, because we know that'll be something we do. But for right now, we want them to be 18 and older, And yes, you've got me in your back pocket. So as long as you can get on a Zoom, or as long as you can get on one of these, that's the hardest part about teaching on here. So yes.
Thank you, Lucy, appreciate it. Does anybody have any additional questions for Lucy? No, okay. Oh, Tanisha, go ahead.
Hey, Lucy. Good morning. For those that may be looking for volunteer hours, do you all provide some sort of certificate of completion for those individuals?
Absolutely. So it's a collaborative with the 4 companies. I have 4 amazing bosses. And the one that we go through is Senior Services of Southeastern Virginia. So you actually sign up on their volunteer page to work with my program, and you can record your hours and keep track of them there. So we make sure that that happens.
That was a great question. Thank you for asking. Because that can be important for a lot of different reasons, people needing documented volunteer hours. So again, something to keep in mind, and they're doing great things. So it's awesome to see seniors getting introduced to technology in a one-on-one coach way. So over 12 weeks. So it's not a one and done. We don't have to pack everything in this first meeting and forget it, 30 minutes later because we've given you way too much information. So great program, great job. Thanks, Lucy, Prime Plus, Senior Services. We got several of them on the call. So if you have any other questions, I put Lucy's information in the chat, but it's also in our weekly announcements every week. So as they continue to look for people, and they will stay there. And there's a nice little flyer and everything. So if you are in offices that happen to face people that could be volunteers or participants, then please print that flyer and put it out for us. That would be great. Wonderful. Well then, thank you, and we will move on. So Iris, are you still on the call? I don't see you. Oh, there, I'm sorry.
Right here.
You're right in my face, like literally right in my face. Iris, would you please introduce yourself and then give us the new members report?
Good morning, everyone. Iris James with Senior Services of Southeastern Virginia, and serving as the membership chair currently for the Norfolk Task Force. Our new members total, well, our membership now totals 19. And our most recent people who have come on were Hope Lomax Jones, Charlene Turner, Pam DeShawn, and I believe Reverend Stanley, you were added to our membership roster recently. So continue to share our information in the community. We are always looking for our new members, trying to build our membership base. We've got a wonderful program coming up, as you all know, in May for our 45th anniversary. So this is a great time to become a member with the Norfolk Task Force on Aging.
Thank you very much, Iris. And Hope, could we please have the Treasury report?
Absolutely. Acting interim treasurer report is our beginning checking balance was $1,142. And that was in checking. Our expenses, we had $400 deduction for a check. I think it was a community scholarship. We also had, since the last meeting, $156.30 in memberships through PayPal. Our ending balance in checking is $778.57. And also we have in savings $250.47 with our ending balance of $1,029.04. We do have upcoming expenses, and hopefully we can get with another company, but we believe we'll be coming through on April 3rd for $329.95. So that's going to take us down a little bit, but hopefully, I think we have a resource out there that we will be going with that will actually take us down, hopefully deduction by $200. And so basically our ending balance with checking and savings combined is $1029.04. Moving on to our Speakers Bureau, we have several openings for that. We have openings in August, October, and November, because as we all know, our December meeting is normally like our presentation party for the community scholarship. And also our April speaker is Ian Galvin with Humana. His topic is to be determined, so I will update you all on that by Monday. I've requested. So again, if you all are interested in being a speaker, we have the openings in August, October, November, and November, because December's taken. Thank you all.
Wonderful. Thank you, Hope. And if you guys know anybody that you would like to hear speak, please feel free to send that information to one of us, either Hope or myself or Iris, and we will try our best to reach out to them to get them on the calendar as well. So, okay. April, would you like to introduce yourself? I don't think that she's able. And there was a third person. Who was the third person? Charlene.
Thank
you.
Charlene Turner with Tidewater Home Funding. I'm a mortgage specialist in reverse mortgages, but I also handle what I call forward mortgages too. So we can help people find a way to stay in their home as long as they'd like to.
Excellent. So Scott should be calling you soon. Everyone, there's a few things that I want to update you on, but not, it won't take too much time, and then we can do some announcements. We do have raffle tickets for sale on the website. It will be an annual, it'll be a year-long fundraiser. It's still going to be a 50-50 raffle that will benefit one of the nonprofits in Norfolk that apply for our charitable gift, which is given in December. Last year, we were able to give $400 to Senior Services to support their meals. Well, Iris, remind me, what was the meals campaign? It's no longer Meals on Wheels.
Yeah, home delivered meals.
Thank you, thank you. So we were able to give $400 to support that. They're $10 each. They're available on our website. So we don't have the paper tickets anymore. So it's quite easy to donate. If you know anybody, please send them that way that might be able to support us. We're also working on a program to bring back the educational scholarship. Geez, my brain just went empty. I've not had coffee yet. This educational scholarship. We're hoping to support either a CNA or better degree, and a small donation towards that. We're working on the budget so that we can set goals on membership and know exactly where we stand. So we should have that for everybody in April, with some goals on members and fundraising. And then, like Iris said, we do have the 45th anniversary in May. We've reached out to several founding members and have contacted most of the past presidents to attend. Steve Zolos will also be doing a presentation at that meeting, so it should be a very good time. And I'm sure Humana will be an interesting topic, whatever they choose next month. So they're a new speaker to us. So please invite a guest. We would love to have as many people as possible on the calls, and as many members as possible, so we can do more things in the community. Finally, the Senior Resource Guide is up to be redone. And I'm working with the Family Justice Department in Norfolk. They have a new program where they've hired case managers that need to become familiar with resources. So they're going to help me put together the resource guide. So thank you, Nanette and Mikkel, for connecting me with Virginia Wesleyan and ECPI. I'm not sure what happened, but it ended up not panning out. I don't know. We just stopped communicating. But it's okay, because I've got, what did I say? Family Justice Center. So Krista Fulton is helping us. So, anybody else have any announcements that they would like to share? Any events coming up, or a little bit more information about something that you had said earlier?
Nanette is about to like bust through the screen.
Go Nanette.
You know, I always have something to say. I just want to extend the invitation to everyone for SeniorLivingGuide.com's annual Case Manager and Social Worker Appreciation Luncheon. Even though this year it's going to be slightly different, it's going to be a drive-through event, so vendors and sponsors still have the opportunity to chat with these case managers and social workers and share their information, their little giveaways. But it's going to be super fun for those special people who have been working extra hard for us, especially during 2020, and they're going to get a box lunch, and they're going to be eligible for raffle prizes and all kinds of great stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun still. It's just going to be outdoors, and the date is, for Southside, it's in Norfolk at the Sheridan Norfolk Waterside, April 14th. Sponsors at 9:15, social workers and case managers at 10:45. And Brandy did share my flyer yesterday too, which thank you for that.
Yes, Nanette, are there still opportunities to sponsor?
As far as I know, there are, but Tori with Eventing Inc. is the contact. And here, hold on, let's see, tori.eventing@gmail.com is her email address.
And Tori's T-O-R-I, right?
T-O-R-I, yes, thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome, thank you. It's always a good event. It's been going on for a long time. So if you're able to support it, please do. And like Nanette said, social workers have been integral in the last year, like they always are. So, and as a reminder, it is Social Workers Month. So if you know a social worker, thank them. So we're looking forward to delivering some baskets later this month from Comfort Keepers.
And one last quick thing, we are hoping to have one again in the fall. So we're planning to have 2 this year, and that one will be in person.
It's gonna be weird when we're all back to seeing things in person. I don't know that I'm gonna know what to do when somebody goes to hug me anymore. But there's a few events coming up that I want to share with you too. There's advanced care planning by Freda H. Gordon on Thursday, March 23rd. It's a webinar from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. You can RSVP with Mary Dorse, mdorse@hpctidewater.com. And then Senior Services and Alzheimer's Association have partnered to do 4 programs across the year for Lunch and Learns. The first one is March 25th. It's Connecting on COVID at noon. I will be presenting for the Alzheimer's Association on COVID and caregiving. And then we have Dr. Castillo from EVMS speaking on the vaccine. So if you know of any seniors that are primary caregivers for somebody with Alzheimer's or dementia, it might be a good presentation for them. And if you have any questions about the vaccine or how to obtain the vaccine, it might be a good discussion for you as well. So those are my announcements. Oh, sorry, correction, one more. Senior Advocate, who's not a member of this, but they have a great program. They're doing a talent show with seniors. I included this in the weekly announcements yesterday. Sponsorships are available, and then the winners of the talent contest will be donating their winnings to nonprofits across Hampton Roads. So if you're a nonprofit like Prime Plus, you may want to reach out to Stephanie Smith to get some information to see if you can participate in some way.
Okay,
So,
I'm submitting a music video, which Mike has seen, which is amazing. It's really cool. So I'm hoping that I win this. So anyway.
Oh, wow. I wish you the best of luck, Reverend Stanley, and it's a well-deserving nonprofit as well. So anybody else, any announcements? Anybody want to expand on anything that, happy birthday to the ones?
I wanted to expand on my announcement earlier about sponsored programs from Tidewater Arts Outreach. So this is for programs that are based in the city of Norfolk, which is why I wanted to particularly put it in front of the task force. We receive funding from the Norfolk Commission on the Arts and Humanities every year. And because of all of the program interruptions from COVID, we do have quite a bit of grant money left over for this fiscal year, which our fiscal year ends June 30, to be able to just outright sponsor programs, or to do maybe a hybrid approach with facilities that are able to do a little bit of cost share with us, but also could benefit from having programs sponsored outright. For those of you who don't understand our model or aren't really clear about it, we bring arts programs to facilities or to organizations or to groups of people who serve older adults or people in isolating circumstances. So that includes, we are starting to partner with homeless shelters. We are partnering with, families in vulnerable circumstances. We just started one with EVMS's Loving Steps Healthy Care Initiative or Healthy Start Initiative. Parents of young children who are vulnerable in some way. We just did a program with them using Board and Brush of Norfolk as our artist, and that was super, super fun. So basically what I'm saying is that the sky's kind of the limit. There is a limit eventually, but we definitely want you guys to send us names or reach out to us if you're like, our program could really use some artistic experiences. We're here to enhance your care environment and to make your programs, even better than they already are. So please holler at me, and I will put my contact information in the chat here real quick so you can spam my email as much as you desire. But that is what we are doing.
Thanks, Kate. And if you haven't gotten a chance to participate or see some of the programming from Tidewater Arts, you're missing out. So we've been fortunate enough to sponsor some things, and for Bickford, and it was a lot of fun, and then a few other things, and I used to volunteer with them. It's a great organization. So if you're able to support them or give them some opportunity to enlighten somebody's day or brighten someone's day, please reach out to Kate. So they do wonderful things. I think Iris had something she wanted to share.
Just wanted to make sure that you all are staying in touch with us through our website. There's lots of information that we're sharing there, as well as our Facebook page. And we are in the process of getting our transportation services back up and on the road. So keep your eye on our website, and we will be back out there serving our seniors and families in the community very soon.
Wonderful. Y'all did a great job getting everyone vaccinated out in Franklin.
Yeah, the second dose is coming next weekend, so we're gearing up for that. And then also we are participating with Suffolk, with Portsmouth, and upcoming sites in Virginia Beach as well. So and Norfolk had also tapped into our transportation services. So we've been assisting throughout the area to help get seniors transported to the vaccination sites.
That's absolutely wonderful. Julie, did you have something you wanted to share?
I was just going to speak to Kate's program, because we do monthly birthday celebrations at Kemet House in the parking lot with Mr. Gary Gard, who has like amazing fans that just can't wait to see him again. And we can't wait till we can do it inside again, so we don't have to depend on the weather being good. But our first one is going to be April 7th. We're going to be back in business. Yeah, so everybody hope that there's no rain that day. But it is wonderful. They love it.
Gary Gard is like I don't even understand the following he's got over there, but it's pretty intense. We try, like, remember, Julie, we tried to like switch it up. We're like, we have other musicians too, and they're like, no. Like,
no, I think one. Well, no, I don't think we ever did even get another one there. Yeah, they love some Gary.
They only want Gary. Like, okay.
That's wonderful. Well, you guys, it is 10 a.m. So
Hey, Brandy.
Yes.
I have a quick announcement. We have an exciting new position opening up at Prime Plus for a marketing and operations coordinator. So if you guys know anyone that might be looking for a position like that, someone that likes to get out in the community and really get our name out there, it's going to be an exciting position because they'll get to develop it with me. So if you know anyone, please send them our way. And I think at this time, since we've never done this before, with everything going on, it'd be a perfect time for a self-starter. If you know anyone like that, please send them to us. We'd appreciate it.
A good organization. I hope you guys get someone good because you deserve it. Yes, we'll take the little one right there. she'll get you plenty of business. And if you know anybody that would benefit from adult day services, please send them to Prime Plus or Amy Cox's way because they do great things there. So thank you guys for your time this morning. A happy birthday, little one. And I hope you all have a great weekend. So have a great day.
You too, Brandy.
Bye. Have a great weekend.
Everyone.